In this video, we're going to translate and analyze the lyrics of The World, the first opening theme of the legendary anime. Death Note. This song was requested by one of my Patreon supporters, and I apologize for taking so long to make this video. The title, The World. Chorus, line 1. 広がる闇の中、交わし合った革命のちぎり。広がる is a verb that means to spread or to expand, and it modifies the following noun, 闇 or darkness. So, 広がる闇の中 means inside the darkness that is expanding. 交わす is to exchange, but it is combined with 会う, which adds the meaning of each other. For example, 殺す plus 会う becomes 殺し合う, meaning to kill one another. This compound verb phrase modifies the following noun phrase, 革命のちぎり. 革命 is the noun for revolution, and ちぎり is the noun for a promise, a pledge, or a vow. So at least two people in darkness made a vow with each other to bring about a revolution. We can speculate that one of these people is Light Yagami, or Kira, and that this revolution refers to his plan to eradicate evil from the world. Chorus, line 2. 愛したゆえに芽生えた悪の花. The verb 愛す means to love, and it modifies the noun ゆえ, reason. 何々ゆえに is a phrase that means because. Therefore, 愛したゆえに means because I loved, but it is not clarified who it is that is loved, as the direct object of this verb is missing. And since Light Yagami was clearly incapable of love, this line strikes me as odd. So this line could be a reference to Misa, the second Kira, who fell in love with light. The verb 芽生える is to sprout or to bud, so it is usually used in reference to a plant. But we do also say figuratively 恋が芽生える, which is used when someone first develops a feeling of love towards someone else. The verb phrase 芽生えた modifies the following noun 悪の花. 悪 means evil, and 花 is the noun for flower. So 悪の花 is a flower of evil. So this line as a whole says, a flower of evil has started to grow because of love. Chorus, line 3. これから先訪れるであろうすべてを。これから先 is a phrase that means from now on or from here on. 訪れる is a verb that means to visit or to come. The verb suffix であろう expresses a guess or a prediction about the future. So 訪れるであろう implies Light has his own plans and is pretty certain about what to expect in the future. This verb phrase modifies the noun すべて or everything. The accusative particle or implies that this noun is the direct object of a verb that appears in the next line. So this line says everything that is going to happen from here on. Chorus, line 4. 誰にも邪魔させるわけにはいかないから。誰も plus ない means no one. The verb 邪魔する means to interfere, to interrupt, or to disturb. This verb is in the causative form 邪魔させる to let someone interfere. The causative in Japanese takes the following form. Person に verb させる to let someone do something. This is why the particle に is attached to the noun 誰 as in 誰にも. The phrase わけにはいかない means you cannot allow something to happen. The conjunction から at the end of this line expresses a reason as in because. But since this phrase is not conjoined with any other phrase, this is an incomplete sentence where the main clause is missing. And as I mentioned at the end of the previous line, the direct object of 邪魔させる is the noun phrase from line 3. これから先訪れるであろうすべて. So lines 3 and 4 together say, because I cannot allow anyone to interfere with what is going to happen from here on. What is going to happen is obviously that Light Yagami will become the god of the new world and murder a bunch of people. Verse Line 1. 果実が告げた未来. The noun 果実 is a fruit. This is an obvious reference to the apple that is featured prominently throughout the show, which itself is a reference to the biblical forbidden fruit. The nominative particle が indicates that 果実 is the subject. The verb 告げる means to tell, inform, or announce. The relative clause 果実が告げた modifies the noun 未来. So this line says the future that the fruit foretold. Verse, line 2. 理性を忘れた町. 理性 is the noun for reason or rationality. The accusative particle を tells us that this noun is the direct object of the following verb 忘れる to forget. This verb phrase modifies the noun 町 city or town. So this line says a town that has forgot reason. Verse, line 3. 黒く歪んだ今を. 黒く is the adverbial form of the e adjective 黒い black, which modifies the following verb phrase 歪んだ meaning twisted or distorted. 黒く歪んだ in turn modifies the noun 今 the present. Here we have an example of ぎくん as these kanji characters are usually pronounced 現在, but the writer of this song chose to make us read them as 今 now. The accusative particle を indicates that this noun phrase is the direct object of the verb in the next line. Verse, line 4. 夢 理想に変える. 夢 is the noun for dream. 理想 is the noun for ideal. These two nouns are separated by a 当点 or comma instead of being conjoined by a conjunctive particle like と or や as in 夢と理想 or 夢や理想. The verb 変える means to change, and we normally use it in the form A を B に変える to change A into B. Lines 3 and 4 combined say that the protagonist will change the dark and twisted present into a dream or an ideal world. Bridge, line 1. どうして僕は壊れた飯屋. どうして is a question phrase that means why. The subject 僕は indicates that this song is written in first person and suggests that the protagonist is male. 壊れた derives from the verb 壊れる to break and means broken. This verb modifies the following noun 飯屋. This is another example of ぎくん. These characters are normally pronounced 救世主, but the writer decided to have us read them as 飯屋 or Messiah. This is a nod to Light Yagami's god complex. But the question どうして implies that he is at least questioning whether he is indeed a Messiah or not, instead of definitively declaring himself the Messiah. Bridge, line 2. 誰もが望んだ終わりを. When 誰も is not followed by the negative ない, it can mean everyone. The nominative case particle が tells us that this noun is the subject. 望む is to wish or to hope. This verb modifies the noun 終わり. This is yet another instance of ぎくん. These characters are normally pronounced 終幕, but they are instead read as 終わり or end. 終幕 is also an end, but it is usually the end of a play or performance. So this could indicate Light Yagami's desire to ensure that the end result of his revolution is embraced by everyone, or at least everyone who hasn't been killed by Kira. The presence of kagikakko or brackets around owari implies that this noun is used in a non-standard way, similarly to how the quotation marks are used in English. The accusative particle o at the end indicates that this noun phrase is the direct object of some verb, but this line is missing a predicate, and it ends in an ellipsis, leaving us wondering what kind of ending Light Yagami has in store for us. The chorus is repeated. The only difference from the first iteration of the chorus is that the conjunctive kara is missing from the end of line 4. Bridge, line 1. いつか僕が見せてあげる. The adverb いつか means someday or one day. 僕が is the subject, with Light Yagami being the implied referent of the pronoun. The verb 見せる is to show. The auxiliary verb あげる implies that this showing action is being performed for the sake of someone else who is not mentioned in the lyrics. Bridge, line 2. 光り輝く空を 光り輝く is a verb phrase that means to shine. This verb phrase modifies the noun 空, sky. The accusative particle or indicates that this noun phrase is the direct object of the verb phrase 見せてあげる from the previous line. This is an example of verb-object inversion, where the direct object is moved to the end of the sentence. This bridge is identical to bridge 1, except for the fact that the noun 終わり is replaced with 楽園 paradise. This paradise is obviously the end state of his revolution that Light Yagami intends to bring about. The chorus is repeated once again. This bridge is repeated, but this time the noun 空 is replaced with 世界 the world, which happens to be the title of this song. This is the end of this video. Let me know if you have any questions or requests.